All right, we're coming at you with yet another Keynote recap. Swami's Keynote is not one that I've always been super into. It's normally very interesting, but it hasn't had broad appeal before. I am blown away at how good his Keynote was this year. I think if you sleep on this Keynote, you're really, really missing out. I thought that Swami really brought his best to bear. The story was amazing. The intro alone is, production quality. Just take the time, go watch it. If you don't watch anything else from reInvent, this is the one that you don't want to miss. So it's a very dramatic opening. I'm not going to ruin that for you. We talk about the history of invention and how inventions don't happen from overnight success, but instead with continued incremental progress. And then from there, Swami dove into a comparison of individual brains versus organizations, which I thought was kind of interesting, to be honest. He was talking about how individual brains, they combine disparate facts and experiences to draw new conclusions in different contexts, while organizations, they don't. Companies, they don't tend to do that. So what tools can we build? What tools exist that allow you to do that? They don't store and process data the same way that our human brains do. It's interesting. And data isn't centralized, isn't automatically processed, it doesn't naturally flow, and it isn't trivial to visualize. Swami talks about all three of these core elements being a core to a strong data strategy. You want a future-proof foundation, you want to weave the connective tissue between your data stores, and you want to democratize data with tools and education. There are four key elements to that future-proof foundation that he talked through. Tools for every workload, performance at scale, and removing heavy lifting, and then flexibility and scalability. So, then we got the pivot into traditional purpose-built AWS slide. 94% of the top AWS customers use more than 10 database and analytics services. I thought that was a very interesting stat. We walked through the mapping of different database services from RDS and Aurora and the key value stores versus the graph stores and all the different options there. And then we got a very nice slide of the analytics services. This is a slide I haven't seen before, and I thought that they were able to add the word serverless at the bottom of virtually every single one of those analytics services. Was pretty impressive. It was a very interesting launch. Set of launches over the last few years that have enabled that serverless component. And then we got into the regular ML stack slide. I'm sure people have seen that one before, but it continues to grow and continues to get better. Next, we get into how we store and query, act, catalog, and govern. There were some very cool statistics about DynamoDB. In Prime Day, it processed 100 million requests per second. And then another cool stat about Redshift, it processes exabytes of customer data every single day. It's a really large scale. We heard from Expedia. Again, I'd kind of like for AWS to start bringing up some different customers. Hearing from Expedia every year is getting a little bit tired. And then in terms of launches, I'm going to rattle these off because I know everyone's really busy at reInvent. We got Athena Spark. This is awesome. Spark connector for Athena. We got DocumentDB Elastic clusters. We got trusted language extensions for Postgres. These are new open source projects to support Postgres SQL extensions on Amazon RDS and Amazon Aurora. It's available today. I haven't checked out the repo yet, but being able to write stored procedures in whatever language you write sounds pretty darn cool to me. I can't wait to play around with it. It's kind of like triggers that are available in other versions of Postgres. We got Amazon GuardDuty RDS protection. We got AWS Glue data quality, which automatically measures, monitors, and manages data quality in your data lake. That's available in preview. We got centralized access controls for Redshift data sharing, which governs access to Redshift data using AWS Lake Formation, again in preview. We got Amazon SageMaker ML governance. This is governance and auditability for end-to-end ML development. That's available today. We got Amazon Redshift autocopy from S3. That seems very interesting and very similar to Spectrum, so I'm not exactly sure how those are going to play together. We'll dive deep into it and bring you more later. Very, 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 very cool. Amazon AppFlow got 50 new connectors. It connects to things like LinkedIn ads or Facebook ads or Zendesk. All of these connectors that we've always wanted in AppFlow, those are now there. In addition, SageMaker Data Wrangler got 40 new data sources. We also got SageMaker Geospatial. So I'm a pretty big fan of geospatial machine learning models. You might remember I made a thing called WhereML way back in the day. But that's a very, very cool launch that I can't wait to dive into and learn more about. And we closed with the launch of Amazon Machine Learning University for educators. So this is training the trainer on how to use AWS ML services. Another great launch. I think that's going to really spread ML and democratize access to it. I want to close by saying that Swami's keynote is one that I have not always been super excited about. I was so happy to be proven wrong this year. What a great keynote. Take the time, go watch it, and I hope to really dive deeper on all of these over the next couple of weeks. We'll publish all of the deep dives onto the different services and launches on Keynote.com, and we really can't wait to hear what everyone else is thinking. And a special thanks to Mark on Twitter for helping me get all this Twitter thread together and figure out all the launches while I was in multiple meetings at the same time.